Alright, so just off the top right here, I'm just going to warn you, this might be a long video. I'm not going to edit that much of it because this is a very raw and initial reaction to the news that I'm sure is going to shake up the movie industry. This is insane to me, dude. So, for those of you who are in the dark right now because this was just announced today, HBO Max and Warner Brothers have officially come out with the news that a lot of their tentpole films are now coming out on HBO Max the same day that they're going or supposed to hit theaters. And these aren't just small movies, these are giant tentpole films. I have an article on comicbookmovie.com right now about it. The entire list of movies includes The Little Things, Judas and the Black Messiah, Tom and Jerry, Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat, Those Who Wish Me Dead, The Conjuring 3, In the Heights, Space Jam 2, The Suicide Squad, Reminiscence, James Gunn's new film Malignant, Dune, The Many Saints of Newark, King Richard, Cry Macho, and Matrix 4. These are big films. Films like Matrix 4, The Suicide Squad, Mortal Kombat, Space Jam 2, Godzilla vs. Kong. These are big films. These are big tentpole films that are still coming out in theaters, but they're coming out on PVOD the same day. That is crazy to me. I don't even know if it's PVOD. I have to read more about this, but basically on the day that they're coming out in theaters, they're coming out on streaming. And obviously this is in response to COVID. And I don't really know how I feel about this. I feel like the movie industry is suffering. A lot of people are suffering, but I feel like more so than the movie industry that's suffering is movie theaters. The thing that my mind immediately goes to is the theater owners. You know, I'm from Michigan. So what are these people, what are these movie theaters like MJR and Imagine, which I know is like 4 states, but still, what are they gonna do? Because those are smaller theater owners. Those are not AMC. Those are not Cinemark. You know what I mean? That's not Regal. These are small theater chains that are statewide or, you know, just in one corner of the US. And they're already struggling, and now you're putting their big tentpole films that they were supposed to make a bunch of money off of, those are going to be released on streaming the same day. And there's a part of me that understands why. That understands why the movie industry is doing it. Okay, the movie industry is losing money, and they don't want to give their tentpole films to theaters. And the reason is because if theaters are only doing 50% capacity based on, you know, COVID, then you're basically cutting your box office in half. I mean, look what happened to Tenet. Tenet was a big tentpole film that Christopher Nolan, like, he wanted it to be in theaters and he was adamant about it and he fought for it and it eventually did come out in theaters, but it did not make the money that movie would have made if it came out in a pre or post-pandemic world. So I get why they're not putting out these giant blockbuster films in theaters. And I can kind of see this has, you know, there's been a process to this. You know, it's kind of been slowly but surely coming that this was going to be the route that Hollywood was going to take. Mulan, which is like a $250 million mega blockbuster, was released on Disney+. You know, Disney Plus and Disney said that they're going to prioritize their Disney Plus shows from here on out. Wonder Woman 1984 is coming out on HBO Max the same day that it comes out in theaters on Christmas. This is a huge, huge precedent that I'm scared of because I kind of wish I had a podcast still where me and Tea Kettle could talk about this fully in depth because I feel like I haven't let it marinate a little bit. But right now, I'm just scared. I'm scared for the theater owners and the small theaters because the way the model works for movie theaters, and I don't know if this is updated, if this has changed, I might be wrong in some things. Feel free to fact check me and then post it in the comments below. But the way the model works in movie theaters, at least to my knowledge, is have you guys ever wondered why concessions are so much at the movie theater? It's because for the first, I believe, 2 weeks, that's the only money they can make on a movie ticket. The movie ticket sales for the first 2 weeks of a movie's release go straight to the studio. They go straight to the studio who made the movie. So for the first 2 weeks, all the ticket sales for the Avengers movies go to Marvel. And then after a while, after 2 weeks, the theater gets to take a percentage of that. I don't even know the percentage, but that's not a lot of money. That's why most of the money that movie theaters make are in concessions. That's why concessions cost a lot. So when you're sneaking in food to a movie theater, you're actually hurting that business, but that's another topic. But the point is like, I'm just scared about the precedent. Because people will tell me, oh, Nico, once this pandemic is over, people are going to flock to the movie theater. And while that might be true, I'm just nervous about the precedent that this is going to set. Because if we indoctrinate into the younger generation, who already, let's face it, they don't respect movie theaters. I'm just being real. I don't want to be that guy, but a lot of people nowadays don't respect movie theaters. They go in there, they talk, they text, they do all this stuff. But the thing is, if we set the precedent that the movie you really want to see is coming out on streaming the same day that it comes out on theaters, there's going to be no incentive for them to go to the theater. Because a lot of people might tell me that the only people who go to theaters right now are the people who want to go to the theater. They're people who like the movie theater. And yeah, that might be true, but that's scary to me. Because now we're cutting the attendance of movie theaters even more so by saying that the movie you want to see can just be on streaming the next day, or the streaming the same day. So now that the people who really want to see a movie have no incentive to go to the movie theater unless they want to see it on the big screen, which for me is enough, but for a lot of people, it might not be, especially with this younger generation like Gen Z. And if we keep doing this, then the Gen Z generation and the kids of Gen Z are going to grow up thinking that this is normal and that, you know, that these big tentpole films come out on streaming the same day as they come out in theaters, so they're just not going to go to theaters because they grow up watching it on their TV. And then a side note is, if they do grow up watching it on their TV, then theater etiquette is just going to skyrocket completely down. Like, skyrocket completely down. Because I don't really know what it is with theater etiquette. I don't know if it's like the small attention span that people have nowadays, and I don't know, like they can't focus, they can't sit down and focus on one singular story or one singular thing for 2 hours. It always amazes me when people go into a movie theater and they're on their phone. Paying a ticket to go into a movie theater and then being on your phone is like paying a ticket to a concert and then listening to music. Like it's like listening to music on your phone. It's like you might as well just do that, you know, because it's the same thing. But I'm kind of all over the place here right now. It's scary to me that these big tentpole films, and not just a couple, but a lot. Denis Villeneuve's Dune is coming out on the television. I don't want to see Dune on the small screen. I don't want to see Dune on my laptop. I want to see Dune in IMAX, you know? But I'm scared that IMAX and seeing it on a bigger screen with better sound in the best way possible, I don't think that's going to be enough for people to get in their car and go to the movie theater and support the theaters, especially during this pandemic. Now, obviously, this is all because of COVID. COVID has been seriously hurting the movie industry, especially the theater industry, especially in my state, because the governor has decided, I'm not trying to get political, but the governor has decided that it's okay to keep gyms and retail shops open, but not movie theaters. Even though in movie theaters, I don't know what they think. Does the government think that when people go into a movie, it's like every movie is an Avengers movie and that every seat is just packed, like shoulder to shoulder, like packed? Because let me tell you something, 95% of the time I go to the movie theater, it's completely empty, or like there's only a couple people there, and they're always social distancing already. So what's the point? I know I'm going like crazy off topic here, but like I just don't understand it. I'm just trying to defend movies here, because the fact that these movies are coming out on streaming the same day that they're coming out in theaters is a huge blow to theaters. Huge blow, at least in my opinion. Matrix 4, Dune, Godzilla vs. Kong, and The Suicide Squad, those are all films that were going to garner huge audiences, big box office, and big returns for the movie theaters. So it scares me when we're in a pandemic now and people are too scared to go to a movie theater because the news has told you that movie theaters are going to be the death keel, even though gyms are open, that people are just going to be too scared to go, and then these theater chains are going to suffer. AMC already declared bankruptcy, I think, or something like that. Like, this is this is huge. You know, the only theater chain to have responded is Cinemark, who said, in light of the current operating environment, we are making near-term booking decisions on a film-by-film basis. At this time, Warner Brothers has not provided any details for the hybrid distribution model of their 2021 films. So, I don't know when COVID's going to be over, but if COVID kind of subsides and the vaccine's released and that COVID, really skydives down, is this deal still going to be in place? Are the theaters still going to have these films on the same day that they're released streaming? Are they just going to abandon that model and be like, okay, now that COVID's subdued, now we're just doing a theater model again? This is just a scary precedent. And the thing is with Hollywood is that when they see something is successful, they get the wrong idea from it and they milk that shit to death. And if this is successful and Godzilla vs. Kong or The Matrix 4 or The Suicide Squad or Mortal Kombat or Dune are successful on streaming, that might be the model that the industry goes with from now on. And honestly, I'm beginning to be really frightened that in 10 years' time, there's going to be no movie theaters at all, and it's all going to be streaming platforms. As a guy who wants to be a filmmaker, my dream is to have my film shown, yes, but my dream is to have a film I make shown on the big screen in a movie theater across the nation. That's what I want, And streaming has made big strides. I mean, Martin Scorsese's film was released on streaming, and Noah Baumbach's Marriage Story was nominated for an Oscar, as was The Irishman, like I just said. A ton of Netflix films. Roma was nominated for Best Picture. All these Netflix films are being nominated for Best Picture. I'm not denying the quality of Netflix films or streaming films in general, but I'm just saying these are not streaming films. These are Hollywood productions. These are big budget Hollywood productions that are now being shown. They're now being shown on streaming the same day that they're supposed to come out in theaters, and that scares me. Especially because you got so many people who don't like the movie theater already, or they're not as invested in movies as I am, because if I ever want to see a movie, I always see it in the theater. I never wait for it to come out on DVD. Any film, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, any film I want to see, I see it in the movie theater. I always said the only thing I spend money on in my life, is food, gas, and movies. Literally, that's the only three things I spend my money on. I mean, look at this shit. You think I spend money on clothes? No. It's movie tickets, man. That's what I spend my money on. This is just a very scary precedent to me, man. This is a very raw reaction. I might do a follow-up video because this is scary to me. It's scary to me. Now, and the thing is, I feel like now I have no choice because I want to see Wonder Woman, but there's no theaters open by me. We're in a shutdown in my state. So there's no theaters open. So now I have no choice but to see Wonder Woman on streaming, on HBO Max, either that, or I wait for it to come out in theaters and then get it spoiled for me because people online can't control themselves. So now I either have to have the whole movie spoiled for me, unless I got to be really cautious, or I have to watch it immediately. So now I'm stuck in a pickle here, because I would almost tell people, and I would almost do this, just tell people to wait and don't support this model. That way we could keep movie theaters open. But I'm not going to lie, that's difficult. If I see that Wonder Woman 2, Wonder Woman 1984, is on literally one button away for me to watch the whole film legally, how could I not do that? Because I want to see that film. I want to see all these films mostly. So it's scary to me. It's really scary to me. I don't know what this holds, and I hope that this is a temporary model. Because if this is successful and Hollywood gets the idea that this is the way to go, I guarantee you movie theaters are going to be gone in 10 years completely. And a lot of people might say I'm being irrational. That's not true. People will always still go to the movie theaters, and I hope so, but there's only a couple people around me who really enjoy going to the movie theaters. I got a couple friends who like going to the movies. I got a couple friends who like movies and are movie buffs but hate going to the theater. But then your average Joe who's not a movie buff like I am, the movie theater is just something they have to do. It's like a chore to them in order to see a movie. So once you remove that chore, it's going to hurt the theater owners, because then it just makes it one click away. basically. And obviously not everyone who has HBO Max, not everyone wants HBO Max or Netflix or Disney Plus or all that. Those people, because they don't have that, might go to the movie theater to see it, especially, you know, maybe older people, which is fine. But at the same time, if you're tech savvy enough, which, you know, a lot of older people aren't, but I'm just saying, like, what something people might do is just get a 30-day free trial, watch the movie they want, and then cancel the subscription. And then, like, I don't know the model because Netflix has been very tight-lipped about it. And I don't know if it's the same or different between all the streaming platforms. But I don't know how streaming really makes money, to be honest with you. If someone could explain it to me in the comments, I would highly appreciate it, because how does Netflix make so much money when they can buy a film for $200 million and then finance that shit for another $300 million and then still make money off of that just based on their, you know, $10 a month subscription model? Like that to me is kind of crazy. Like, I know a lot of people have Netflix, but that's a lot of money that Netflix pours into these films. And with these films like Matrix 4 and Mortal Kombat and Dune and the Suicide Squad, these are big budget films. All those combined are in the billions, dude. In the billions. I almost want to do the math because I am sure that the combined budgets of Dune, Matrix 4, Suicide Squad, Godzilla vs. Kong, and Mortal Kombat, I guarantee you, are probably in the billions, especially with the marketing and stuff. Dude, that's got to be like at least $1 billion. Like that. So how do these streaming services, how are they going to make their money back? Because they don't reveal how they make money, basically. At least from what I've heard and what I've looked up, Netflix and all the streaming platforms are very tight-lipped about how they are able to make money. But it's like, that's insane to me. I don't know how they're going to make their money back for every single one of these big budget films. I just cannot imagine watching Dune on a small screen, dude. I know I'm all over the place, but like, that's just insane to me. I need to look this shit up. This is scary to me, honestly. It really is. It's scary to me, and I'm just scared about the precedent that it's going to send for future generations, because if this continues, then the incentive to go to the movie theater is already lost, but then you at least still get that, you know, that group of people who still want to go to the movie theater. But if people grow up with this model from childhood, then they're not even going to go to the movie theater, in my opinion. You know, they're just going to be like, why am I going to get in my car, go out and pay? Because even though they're paying for the streaming service, they're like, why am I going to pay $10 to see a movie, you know, in the theater, and then buy the food and all that, and then be charged like $25 to go to the movie theater to see this film, when in reality, I can just stay home, pay that $10 at the end of the month, and watch a bunch of films. I get where they're coming from, but as a person who respects and loves the movie industry and the theater industry, that shit, like, this is heartbreaking a little bit. And again, I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom. This could be a temporary model. This could be a temporary thing. Maybe when COVID comes out, maybe there's going to be a surge of people who want to go out and experience the community feel of watching a movie together. That's what I'm hoping for, personally. So this video has been going on for 20 minutes. There's a lot more that I could say about it. But for right now, this is going to be the end of it for me. There's going to be little editing in here. I don't know. I really don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is it all doom and gloom? Am I overreacting? Am I underreacting? Am I reacting? Am I Goldilocksing the damn thing and reacting just right? Let me know. Because one thing that I can tell you right now is that even though freaking movie theaters are shut down all around me, they better be up in time for me to see some of these films, because a lot of these films I really do want to see in theaters, especially the big ones. You can't watch Dune and Godzilla vs. Kong on streaming. Come on, man. But anyway, all right, that's pretty much it. That's all I got. That's all I got to say. Clever catchphrase. I'll catch you guys later. Comment down below, subscribe, and all that shit. Catch you later. Bye.